Hello, welcome to Indie Tutorials. My name is Guillermo and I would like to thank the patrons supporting this channel. By the end of this video, this is what we are getting. So we lock into the enemy and then we can strafe around the target locked enemy. So let's get into it. So before I start scripting this logic, I wanted to show you that in terms of mechanism or the animator controller, the standard one, what we are trying to achieve is, if I double click on this one, we are going to use Animancer linear mixer state, which is going to be like this blend tree, to route to which strafe movement we want to go, either the strafe walk or the strafe jog. So basically, if you were to build this system using the animator controller and mechanism, this is how you probably will do it. So you have your movement length to switch which of the states you want to go with, and then you have, of course, the direction that the movement direction, or is horizontal or vertical, to determine to which movement you want to apply, even the forward, the backward, left and right. So okay, so let's go back to the script and let's open up the StrafeLocomotionState. And as I mentioned, we are going to use now a new system from Animancer called linear mixer state. So let's script it. Linear mixer state, and let's call this one just movement mixer, like so. This is not serializable, so we cannot see it on the inspector. So there is no point on making it serialized field. So down below, after the can enter state, then we need to set up this movement mixer. So let's call the awake method, and from here we call the movement mixer. We create a new instance of it. Then we need to allocate the two transitions, or the two mixers, transition 2D into this linear mixer, and for that we need to call the movement mixer initialize, and it will ask us to set how many childs we need actually. So let's create two, one for each. Then we need to create actually the child for each of these indexes. So index 0 is going to be our strafe walk movement, and the threshold is going to be the movement level. So the threshold in this case is going to be 0. If we are on 0, we play the strafe movement, walk movement, and if we are on 1, so this is index 1, we play the strafe jog mixer. And let's change the threshold to 1. We can also set debug names to see in on inspector. So let's do that. So movement mixer, set debug name, and let's call this one strafe movement. For the mixer and for the strafe walk movement, we can call the base state and set the debug name to strafe walk, and for the jog strafe jog, something like that. Okay, so this is for the setup. Then we need to call the onEnter state to actually play the movement mixer. So let's do that. So override onEnter state. We are going to leave the base call to the character state class, and here we just need to call the character Animancer component play, and we need to play our movement mixer. So this will start or to start playing this mixer, this movement mixer, but we need to set the movement level according to the gamepad stick, as well as the movement direction to determine to which direction we need to move the player, the character. Okay, so for that we are going to use or call this in the update method, and we can set that if the character movement actually we have already the movement, the direction in the character, so let's reuse that one. Movement direction, the magnitude is, if you remember, we did something similar in the locomotion state, is higher than 0.99. That means that we have the left stick all the way up, so we can use the movement level or set the movement level equals 1. Else we set the movement level to 0. We could promote this to a variable to tweak it in the inspector as well. So after having this movement level set up here, or having the proper value according to the gamepad stick, we can set the movement mixer, linear mixer, its parameter set to the movement level. So internally this linear mixer is expecting a single parameter of type float. If we were to use a directional mixer, it will require a vector 2. But for the purposes of this video is okay. So after having the movement level, we need to set the parameters for the strafe walk and strafe jog direction vector 2. So for that, let's call our strafe walk movement. We have its current state, and we can set the parameter, and the parameter is going to be character move direction. And similarly for the strafe jog state, parameter character move direction. Right, so let's save the script, go back to Unity and let it compile, and let's test it out. Let me make more space, and let's hit play. So we still have our standard locomotion, back step, roll, sprinting and jumping. Well, I run out of stamina. Let's recover it a little bit. There we go. And now if we locked into the enemy, we have our strafe. There we go. So this is the jog strafe. And if I just tilt a little bit the gamepad, we are in the walk strafe and always rotating around the enemy. So there we go. One thing I don't like is we have the same issue as the blend trees, standard blend trees somehow, which if I just tilt a little bit, you see this movement. This is, from my point of view, is terrible. I don't like it. So I will probably change this to just play the actual animation instead of trying to blend them. Yeah, I don't like this kind of movement, but we can see this also in the standard mechanic locomotion blend trees. Anyways, also in the next video we are going to implement the dashing when we are locked on the enemy as well. So instead of, we are not supposed to roll, right? We are supposed to dash. So let's implement that in the next video. So I hope you like the series, and thank you for supporting the channel. See you on the next one.